ahangaha hari mu gitondo ngiye mu kazi ndafata moto nkabona tugiye mu kazi tugira ngiye gukora udufurari tuzajyana mu kwibuka turi mu gihe cyo kwibuka abacu bazize jenoside. Ubu ndi kujya mu kazi ndi kuzamuka nkorera mu mujyi muri Ndarundi umutayeri. Aha nari ngeze muri atelier ngiye kubanza kuhakora isuku kuko murabona ukuntu hasaga nabi. Ngiye kubanza kuhakora isuku. Ikintu cya mbere ni isuku, kuba ahantu hasa neza ukahakorera hasa neza. Nahise mfata umukubuzo ndakubura nshyira ibintu byose ku murongo neza kuko nari mfite gukora amafurari tuzambara nyine abantu bagiye kwibuka. Nari mfite ikiraka cyo gukora furari nyine ndakubura bitabirangira nyine ntangira kudoda. Nari ngiye gukubura nyine ko atariye bere nini, muri atelier haba ari hanini, you have to be clean and smart, kagira fresh, kabasa neza. Then go make, share, comment and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Please, family, you are the family. Muri famille. Ndabakunda cyane. None ngiye ndi kubura umva nashishikaye ndi gukora. Ikintu cya mbere ni isuku. Ndi kubura murabona ukuntu ndi kubura nyine kugira ngo nsoze gukubura vuba itangira gukora amafurari. Then nzabona uko njya muri aba past. Aya ni amafurari rero. Ni amafurari ngiye gukora aya yose muri kubona hano ni muri atelier. Then nifite kujya muri aba past itariki 9. Nibwo aba past yabaye ibera i Nyanza, Kicukiro ya Nyanza niho yabereye. Yatangiye saa 10 kugeza saa 2. Hari amashusho amwe na ayo ninjye nahise nca ku mashini njya kudoda. Mwibuke ku kwezi kwa 4 turimo, tubane hafi tubwirane amagambo meza, tugirane urukundo, dusengere abantu batameze neza, tubabe hafi, tubane hafi twese, dukundane, tugirane urukundo kandi dushyigikirane, dukunde igihugu cyacu, dukore cyane, twe rubyiruko twe ejo hazaza, dukore cyane kandi twumve ko dushobora guterekera mu cy'ababyeyi bacu, mu cy'abakuru bacu. Tube smart, dukore cyane, duterane imbaraga nyine ni byose. Muri njye ari kudoda mba ndiseriye mu kazi kugira ngo ibintu bya black ndiseriye mu kazi dikotada. Muzaze mbadodere nkorera mu mujyi muri Ndaru muri fo ya 3. Modeli iyo yose ushaka uranyereka nkakukorera. Dodera abagabo, adodera n'abadamu nyine modeli yose kuko wanyetse modeli cyangwa kaza twayidiscussing njye nawe tukayikora. Muzaze mbadodere. Aha rero nayo ngiye gukora ndi kwitsemura mba nitsemura kakana k'amasinizite rero aba ari n'akantu kuko ari mashini yo gukubura harimo n'akantu k'akavumbi nyine ndi kwitsemura kungiza Imana nyine birashira. Then komeza nyine ndakora ino amafurari ndi kudoda. Angaha nanjye muri our past sasa dutangiye. Rero namwe urubyiruko ndabashishikariza kubana hafi no kuba inkingi y'umuryango.
Turi hano kugira ngo tunatekereze tunaganire ku rugendo tumaze gukora muri ino myaka 31 ishize. Urugendo rutari rworoshye, urugendo rwasabye ko abarokotse jenoside
suffer in vain. Deep down, forever scarred by colonial pain. Started back in 58, it was part of the plan to start washing our brains, spilling blood on our land. They segregated our families, we branded identities, turned neighbors to rivals, and masses to casualties. The 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, fueled by the Babylon's lies and ugly mentality. It wasn't easy to cope with such sickening times. Street filled with millions of corpses, innocent lives. From the ashes we rose, with tears in our eyes, clinging to hope and now strengthen our ties. Let us remember in peace the ones that we lost, and stand with the motherland at any cost. We are the symbol of strength and grace, and our story we must embrace. Let's be the generation we want to see, and keep building a nation filled with love and peace. For Rwanda's future is bright and divine, and our spirits forever will shine.
Rwanda is more than that. God values our foundation. Just like the sun rises each morning, so does our foundation lay victory in our palm.
Rwanda rwa gihanga rwaje kwanda, a land of 1,000 hills in which each hill heals the viewer's heart with its view.
Ubwo habaga jenoside y'abagogwe bamanuka muri Nyabarongo, nibwo twe twasenyewe turahunga, turaza tubanza gutura mu Gatenga.
Language for the benefit of the audience. Nitwa Colonel Desire Migambi Mungamba, tukaba tugiye kuganira.
Before the year 1885, before the colonialists arrived in Rwanda, Rwandans lived in harmony amongst themselves. And although there had been 18 different clans, Rwandans moved up and down their social economic scale with ease. They intermarried, shared the same language, religion, culture, and traditions. Then, as part of German East Africa from 1894 to 1918, Rwanda came under the League of Nations mandate to Belgium after World War I, along with neighboring country Burundi. In 1932, the Belgian colonial administration in Rwanda issued identity cards to all Rwandans. They labeled anyone with more than 10 cows a Tutsi, less than 10 cows a Hutu, and those with no cows, a Twa. This created a specific division of 84% Hutu, 15% Tutsi, and 1% Twa in the population. The Belgians, during their colonial rule, favored the Tutsi over the Hutu and the Twa, exercising the power structure of the few to rule the many, creating a legacy of tension that exploded even before Rwanda gained its independence in 1962. An imposed identity of Hutu, Tutsi, and Twa began to determine people's lives and economic opportunity as division was cemented under the colonial state. Once upon a time, we sang one song. We danced one dance. marriage is fine. But when unwanted guests joined our fest and changed our beat, our feet got lost in a rhythm of extreme division. The divide and rule strategy implemented by the colonialists in the 1930s influenced the Hutu Revolution by 1959. Deeply rooted in the colonial policy of ethnic division, this revolution would be the destabilizing fracture in Rwanda's social fabric. From 1959 to 1994, the Hutu extremist regime in power has carried out massacres to exterminate the Tutsi people. The outburst of violence over the years towards the Tutsi people has caused many to flee Rwanda for safety in neighboring countries. Many Tutsi and moderate Hutu refugees in exile have come together to strategize on how to return home and bring peace to their brothers and sisters facing the wrath of Hutu extremists in Rwanda. They have formed a political party called the Rwandan Patriotic Front in hopes to bring a complete halt to years of discrimination, persecution, and injustice, and bring stability and prosperity back to the land of 1,000 hills. dutangira gusenyana, dusenya imitima, dusenya ingo, dusenya imiryango, dusenya ubushuti, dusenya igihugu. Bamwe muri twe barica, bamwe muri twe barapfa, abandi barahunga, twese dusigarana intimba ihetse agahinda. With broken hearts, no homes, no families or friends, with exiled women and men in countries that didn't belong to them, it almost felt like an end. We started to pretend that we were people who we weren't. We held passports of Ugandans, we held passports of Kenyans. We spoke not our mother tongue and spoke Lingala, Kirundi, Swahili, and Luganda. We knew how to cook their foods. We knew how to dance their dances. We knew their cultures and traditions. We did it so well, couldn't tell the difference if you tried. But the tears of the past that we cried just couldn't be denied. And the people outside didn't help us. You see, there were no political or economic interests in Rwanda. So no wonder they left us alone. We had to figure it out on our own. While we played pretend during the day, we lay awake during the night, constantly thinking of a vision. We finally made a decision. It was time to make things right. Ironic how sometimes we have to fight for peace. We were tired of tears, sick of sorry, weak from worry. We made a choice. It was time to give our people back their voice. We strategized and analyzed on how to transform, put on our boots and in uniform marched towards the borders with persistence, ready for the risk of resistance. Listen, my people were tired of pretense. We knew the journey ahead was intense. We disregarded our dreams, joined forces and made teams. It was time to silence our people's screams. We had no heroes to call on because Batman was too busy, Superman was too scared, and no one else cared. So we had to become our own heroes. Somehow make millions out of zeros, some things out of nothings, cities out of ash, dust into grass. But listen, we didn't just pass our task, we excelled and expelled division, segregation, discrimination, and corruption. We built a nation far beyond our imagination, far beyond the world's expectation. It was sleepless nights of planning and meetings. It was time, blood, sweat, work, tears. It was sacrifice, and it came at an expensive price. So I salute you. Which lasted for 100 days. Many survivors were left with nothing but sweet memories of their family and friends who had been brutally murdered. And while it seemed only fair that the world should stop so that they could mourn their loved ones, the world did not. And Rwanda was in ashes. Hills that once held schools, hospitals, homes, roads were now stacked with dead bodies. Nothing was functioning. And just like it was up to Rwandans to stop the genocide against the Tutsi, it was also up to them to rebuild their home, scarred by haunting memories and heavy hearts. They embarked on the daunting task of restoration and renewal. In my mind, you thrive. I think about you all the time. It's how I try to find you. In time and space, I keep you alive. In memories of us together, you survive. And I ask myself questions all the time, starting with, if time equals money, your memory is worth the most to me. But I do the math and turn all the days we could have spent together into any currency, and suddenly, money means nothing to me. Your soul was priceless. If memories of you were like building blocks, I'd be living on tower top. I would live to tell your story. I pray your soul rest forever in peace. After the genocide against the Tutsi, Rwandans who committed acts of genocide and survivors of the genocide found themselves living side by side once again, like they did before the colonialists came. The Rwandan government removed the colonialist-imposed ethnic groups from identification cards, as this had caused much pain and division in our past. And instead, 30 years ago, we were surrounded by fears, our hopes immersed in tears. But collectively, we decided to switch gears and steered away from anger and danger, made enemies our peers, made strangers our neighbors. And now, instead of harm, we do each other favors. Together we make headlines in papers. And the same world that had forsaken us now remembers us in a different light. Today I have the honor to speak for a people who decided their pain would not be in vain, who turned their hatred into sacred lessons to learn from, a people who took their broken fractions and patched them to make a whole, for the spaces between them that once were holes, whose focus on maximizing a death toll evolved to increasing life expectancy. I speak for a people who have chosen to light candles of hope over burning fires of fear. A people who have made pathways out of roadblocks. A people who have replaced hate speech and propaganda with dialogue and conversation. A resilient people who decide every day to choose unity and reconciliation. I speak for a people from a nation who still mourn their lost loved ones every beginning of April, whose hearts still ache, but who became so acquaint with fear that they became unafraid. I speak for a people who still honor the memories of those loved and lost during the genocide against the Tutsis. These are the people that I have the honor to speak for today. When I travel, I introduce myself with pride. I tell the good people I meet where I'm from. And some respond, "Oh, Rhonda, like Hotel Rhonda?" No, Rhonda is not Hotel Rhonda. But more than that, it's not how Rwandans should remain in memory when people think about my motherland. Rwanda is so much more. Rwanda is not Hotel Rwanda. No, Rwanda is the heart-beating life of Africa, the world's example and definition of hope.
mu iterambere ryabo rya buri munsi. Rero iyo twabonye ubufasha bwose bukagera ku bafatanyabikorwa bacu bihindura ubuzima bari barimo, cyane cyane yuko babona yuko hari abandi bantu babitayeho bagendeye no ku bibazo bagiye bahura nabyo.